What is going on, guys? Today we are going to learn how to make those awesome ass bass lines you hear in today's hip hop from producers like Metro Boomin, Southside, Mikewillmadeit, and many others. I am Diz from Diz Productions, and if you are watching, please subscribe to get more information on making music. Just like and comment down below, and if you have any questions, I'll be sure to get back to you. Alrighty then, let's jump inside FL Studio and see if we can make some magic happen. Alrighty, so I'm assuming that what you have for right now is the melody, and you probably got maybe just a little bit of hi-hats, you know, some extra percussion. This is what I've got so far. Okay, now the bass is really what's going to set the tone. Now, a lot of people, when they think bass lines, yeah, you want to have a bass line, but your kick really wants to be on point with it. So what I usually do is I like to go ahead and highlight the part where the bass is going to drop, which is going to be right here. And to do that, all you got to do is click the square. Now, I have a couple basses that I can give to you. I can point you in the right direction to give you some of these basses. One's a hood bass that has been created, and all these are a lot of other basses that have been created. I love these. This is my own pack that I've created that I could actually, if you guys want to, keep watching and I'll put it out myself. It has a whole bunch of sounds as far as hi-hats, claps, crashes, sounds, sound fonts. You guys get the picture. But stay tuned for that. Now, what I have so far is no bass, no kicks, anything like that. But I will be able to set them up. So we're going to actually start right down here with this bass. My bass is presetted. Is already in a high pitch, so I just take this pitch knob and drop it down. So now we got that bass feel to it. So before we do the bass, I want to select a good kick. Now in my kicks, I have one right here. I usually go with this one. I like to turn it up real loud just to make sure that I get that punch to it. And then I go ahead and select my claps. Turn that down a little bit. You don't want that being too loud. And I'll probably select a snare. I'll go ahead and go with one right here. Here we go. And I'll turn that down as well. Now we're going to go ahead and set up the claps, which I usually do it right here just along these lines, just them. And I'm going to start with my kick. So here goes for my kick. I'm going to automatically put one at the beginning. Before you do this, what I want you to do is I want you to hit the pencil tool and make sure that you're selected onto this channel right here. Go ahead and insert it into your playlist. So we're going to do it just like this, and it's going to sound... Alright, and now you kind of want to fool around with it. You don't want to add too much. You want to make sure if it's a slow kind of driving beat, you want to make sure that you're not bringing out such bad qualities. You don't want to overdo it, and, you know, and do a whole bunch of stuff like this and, you know, fill it up to where it needs to, you know, you got to fill up the gaps. You don't have to do that. It's going to sound horrible. Because no, this is a slow driving beat. I want to keep this thing as beautiful as possible, and by doing that, it's not by overdoing it. Now, once I got my kick set up, which to me this is how it's going to sound. And that's just as much as I need. The bass is going to set the tone for this right here. So for my bass, I usually select the lowest key that the melody is using. Now, if I go all the way down to my melody, the lowest key that I find is that right there, right on the C. And I'm going to come back up to my pattern, and I'm going to start with C. But if it's too high, then I'm going to go down low. And I might go down even lower. So I'll start it off, but where the kicks are hitting, you want to put a stop on the bass and start it back up. So just like that, just like that. Just like this. And like this. Alright, so for that, now this is what I have. Okay, but that's so plain, man. You know, this is where the creativity starts to come in. This is where I mostly can't help you out with. The creativity side comes to it from playing around with the bass. Now, usually what I like to do is, you know, if it starts out and it's slow, towards that end is where you kind of want to make it a little bit funky. So most of the time, you know, I'll drive it up. do a something like that, and we'll drop it down midway, and then we'll keep this right there. Okay, so now this is what we got. Alright, so now for that, there are some more things that you can do to this. Usually, there's one trick that I'll show you, and it's called the slide button. And what it does is you hit this button, this triangle right here, this right angle, and you could put it halfway through or just one way through, and it will slide this note all the way down to this one. So here's how it sounds. And if you want to do it slower, then this is how it would sound. And that's always cool. Like, I love that sound. And let's say if I didn't want it to be high, I wanted to drop it down low, then for that drag down low, what I can do is I can do it just like this. Take this off, extend this out, take this like this, and we can go. But other than that, this is part of creativity. I want to keep mine up high right here, and I want to be able to drop that bass down to give it a little bit of power. And as far as it goes for the other basses, like let's just say you have one of these normal basses right here. What we'll do is we'll select a good one. I'm going to choose 7. Now, here's how you want to edit it, because a lot of y'all get these basses and they'll overlap each other and you're not sure what to do in that next step. Well, the next step that you'll want to do is you want to place cut itself. And here's how I tamper with it. I usually drag the attack all the way down, the hold usually about 75% of the way there, the deceleration all the way down, the sustain all the way down, and the release all the way down. This way it allows it to be a sharp and it's just steady bass. So we're going to cut the sound on this one and we're going to recreate this one from scratch. And I want to be in the same key, if it's down here. We want to bring it all the way to the top. Now some of these basses are going to be offset, or are going to be off key. So you definitely want to watch what you're doing, especially with this. You need to make sure that whatever key that you're using, you want to be able to edit that. So from right here, this is the sound that we got. And that's the right key. That's the key that I want to stay in. Even though it's the different key from what is already given you, that's just because these are pre-recorded basses and they're in a different key when they're recorded. They're not in the standard key of C5. No, they're going to be in a totally different key, and this is how you want to find it. Now, I'm going to kind of copy the same thing that I did, because as far as the creativity goes on, we're going to stay on the same page. And I'm going to show you how to preset your basses as far as it goes for... And I might end up playing with this sound a little bit more, because I like this one a little bit better. But this is what I got so far with this other bass. Alright, and that sounds awesome. Now the major part about it is once you get this bass line going, I'm gonna fill in what everything that I already had, especially with my hi-hat. So now we got a driving kind of beat going. I got a hi-hat video that will explain everything to show you how you can create your hi-hat. So this is what we got sounding now. Alright, so once we get that, I want to actually come over to my channel rack. I'm going to go back to my pattern real quick. I'm going to go over to my channel rack, and for the bass, I'm going to put it in one certain channel. I'll put it in 11 for right now, just to show you. you want to take your parametric EQ right here, and you want to set it a couple notches over, about 3 notches over, and you want to turn it down, and you want to hit this. You want to actually right click this and hit disable so it doesn't take away from your bass, and you want to maybe a little bit less than halfway just so it doesn't get into the highs. And the next thing that you want to do is it's actually just to make it sound a little bit better, you want to hit a fast distortion. And usually what I do is I just go with the default because it kind of gives it that distortion, and I turn it down a little bit, and I turn it down maybe about halfway and kind of judge it from there depending on how I want it to sound or how much kind of amp is on that or how much distortion is on that. And when you play it, this is kind of about how you want it to sound. And then so far, I mean, like you know, that's about it, guys. Like, literally, the best things that I can give you is set up your kicks and claps first, just to know how you want the beat to drive. You want to make sure that you're on key with your bass, so usually be in those low keys of what your melody's in. Also, be creative with it. You know, create some slides, create some different variations to make it sound. Play with that slider note that I taught y'all. Make sure that it sounds really good before you do it. So when you get to put it in your channel rack and you take it out and are finished with it, you know, you want to make sure that your bass isn't too high. So if you have to turn this down a little bit, do it. You know, it's not going to hurt you. But just make sure that it sounds good overall. You know, the best basses aren't overdone, and they sound awesome, and that's kind of how you want to do it. You know, these guys today, yeah, they make some pretty good basses, but as far as it goes for the sound quality of the bass, as far as putting effects on it, you know, it's bright, but it's not overdone, and that's what we're looking for. We don't want to overdo our basses. So basically, that's it, guys. You know, just, you know, make sure you're creative, stay on key, and be creative. Remember, guys, drop a like or comment down below if you have any suggestions or questions on what I should do next. And out of the kindness of your heart, please subscribe if you want more information on making music. And also check out my beats, because guess what? It's all free. I hope you enjoyed today's video and learned what you needed. As always, I'm Diz from Diz Productions, and thank you for watching.